St. Croix line. Heather and Dennis, and I'm Trevor.
Hi, I'm Heather.
Hi, Heather.
We saw a need for this type of resource in the Virgin Islands. I was inspired by a magazine, a print publication up in the States called The Bar Hopper, which had every bar and restaurant specials throughout the week, and you could read articles about the local bands, and it was really fun. So about 3 years ago, I was like, what's this blogging thing all about? And I figured it out. I thought this would be fun. And Heather thought it was a good idea too.
We like live music, we like entertainment, we like to eat food that's good and drink beverages and hang out with people. Seemed like a good idea to make a website that catered to like what we thought was cool about living in St. Croix specifically. The Virgin Islands, but yeah, St. Croix specifically, we're like, here's an island, we're going to make it our home, what do we like, how do we find that information, and what's going to be useful down there, and especially coming down here and seeing, there wasn't somebody filling that niche just by yet. So.
Right. There was an opening. And technology is changing, and we're going to talk about some mobile things. Our website is also mobile, and not everybody needs to convert their website to mobile right away. You can get away with taking advantage of social media.
And that's what we're here to do tonight. So welcome everybody to the Making Sense of Social Media class by St. Croix.
So it can be a lot and overwhelming, but we whittled it down to this. We thought we were really talking more to restaurateurs and people in the service industry and brick and mortar establishments, but a lot of this can be applied to any kind of business that you're involved in. We are going to cover the orange symbol right there. If you've never seen one of those before, that's an RSS feed symbol. It means Real Simple Syndication. Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, Yelp, TripAdvisor, especially in these travel tourist type communities, and YouTube.
Has everybody seen TripAdvisor before? I know you have. TripAdvisor.
I posted on it.
Okay, so marketing used to be push, right? Direct mail, even email, direct marketing for a while, signage, outdoor signage, and the quintessential push is your local yellow pages. It was kind of expensive to get there, but it was really effective.
Newspapers today, ad print, what a lot of people are used to seeing, which is still useful, but it's traditional marketing style.
And it's not going to work up there. Well, my buddy worked really hard, so I'm going to show you what's happening now. That's gone. Right? It's all moved to the wireless.
What's that?
Does innovative know right
That's going to jump right ahead. So basically we'll talk about everything is really moving to the wireless device, the handheld device, the tablet. It's happening in education. It's, unless you are really a programmer or do some design, like I do, I need a laptop. But otherwise, if you're doing your marketing for your business, or taking photos, or sharing, or performing the back-end responsibilities of managing any of those icons I showed you before, you can really manage that from a phone or a tablet, and it's going to get easier and better. And that's where people are. So we're going to start with talking about RSS feeds, and if you have a website, you should really get a blog attached to it, because new media is web pages, it's blog posts, it's YouTube movies, it's tweets on Twitter. That's new media. It's small, it looks different, but it's media and it's new. The most important thing that you can do for your business is to blog about it. And as you blog, they get timestamped and they create these syndicated lists that can be shared or people can subscribe to, or they can be published in other places. So people will find your content and either share it or keep it to themselves, you know, whatever they do. Some people like to share. It's a social interaction on the web.
Does everybody know what a blog is?
You don't know what a blog is?
I don't know what the meaning of the blog is now.
Okay, I'm sorry, then I'll slow down. Blog is short for weblog. It's a log that you keep, like a journal, that gets published to the internet, to a server location on the internet. And it's usually time-stamped and also stamped with the author who did it. That might be connected to a profile online, which has your email or contact information attached. Sometimes it's completely anonymous. But each time you log on and create a new post with a title and a body, whether it contains media, like a picture or video, or just text, each time it gets published, it gets added to that RSS.
Well, that's what I'm doing on Facebook.
It's
I'm
similar
blogging
to, think of it
Okay.
as a Facebook timeline,
Okay.
but it's on a website.
Okay.
Make sense?
Facebook is
It's
an
a,
RSS
it's a Facebook, you can think of Facebook as a shorter version of blog posting. Come on in, welcome.
Exactly. Exactly. But why it's important is a lot of people up till now have been building websites and they hear that search engine optimization is important, getting your keywords and your key phrases into your site. So we've gone through all kinds of competition, stealing keywords from people and fighting for this and paying for that. But really what's happening with the algorithms and the search engines like Google and YouTube, which is also a search engine in itself, is they're really going for context, who the person is, what their preferences are, where they are, and really not accuracy, but relevancy. Relevancy. So they're going to be able to put together New York means a city as opposed to just New and York existing as separate entities in the world. And as we get smarter, those search engine keywords and key phrases need to be added to fresh content. So when you're blogging, generally you don't have to be super nitpicky about it. If you're in food and you're posting about food, keywords are likely to be relevant. But you're creating new content all the time in a fresh new way.
And that's important because then it shows up in an RSS feed, which is something that people can subscribe to it's like subscribing to your local newspaper that gets delivered on your porch. You go out there and you find a source, a blog such as the St. Croix Line or the New York Times or the St. Croix Source or any other thing that has an availability for you to subscribe to their RSS feed, and then you get those updates in your reader and you can read those at your leisure.
Well, and there's also how to blog if you're not blogging yet, getting a website together. If you're going to redesign your website, I'd recommend going something like WordPress or a simple content management system. They're really easy to change the look and feel of the site, but the content stays the same. You can log in from wherever you are in the world, and it creates a very simple blog. You're up and running. If that's too much for you, or you've already put a lot of time and energy into your website, you can consider going with a company like Tumblr, which is Tumblr, or Blogger. And those are sites that just allow you to blog. A very stripped down Facebook. Okay, so that's the first part. Get blogging, get creating fresh content.
Now talk to me about the etiquette of blogging. Like, for instance, I own a restaurant. What am I going to get on my website and blog about? I mean, it's one thing for me to just force information on them, like my specials or my hours, but I want to engage them, obviously. So what is blogging going to do, or how specifically should I gear that blogging, or, you know, what is the etiquette of blogging? How long should it be?
This is the philosophy. This is a community building experience. So talk to the people that you love, other foodies, about the things that you love. And the topics are wide ranging. What about your product, about the people who come, about the environment and the climate? You generally pick things like that to write about that genuinely serve their audience.
It is, you're absolutely correct. You can put your daytime hours out there all you want. But think about blogging as something about like telling the story or sharing people's experiences that, you know, why do people really love you that came there? Or how did it come to be? Or we just remodeled this. Or I have the best bartender in the world because he knows, you know.
Right here.
Right, so it's those types of things where you elaborate on it. As far as like really etiquette goes, you can make blogging is, you know, it's a personal thing. If you want to write a post that's really long with no pictures, great. If you want to write a post that's mostly pictures with a few interjected words in between, that's fine too. You'll find that some of them serve you better and get more people back to look at your site if you follow a certain pattern. You know, that's really up to you. There is no right or wrong when it comes to
come on in,
welcome.
Yeah, let me scoot down.
Charlie.
Welcome. Whatever.
You have to do dishes, you know.
Again? Always doing
Let's
this.
reintroduce a theme which is pull versus push again. We're really trying to build, we're trying to get eyeballs and ears. And so the pulling thing is to get the comments on those blog posts, to get the thumbs up, to get the shares, to get a conversation going. So sometimes these blog posts can even try to start a conversation. Again, this isn't a blogging class, but each and every piece of what we're talking about today, you can go to YouTube and search beginning that and find some great videos that'll take you in real layman's terms through each of these in much more depth. And we certainly can help you get into more depth as we
Did that
go.
answer your question though?
Yeah, it
Okay,
does. It does.
All right, so first, in social media, the monster is Facebook.
Let's start there.
And we basically want to try to cover three things. Profiles, personal profiles versus pages, what that means. Timeline features, the new layout that everybody's noticed. Is everybody on Facebook? Okay. No? How many no's? No no's. Okay, cool. And we're going to talk about some best practices for what kind of content to put up there on Facebook and why images and video are particularly important. Okay, so that graphic went by. Okay, basically first we'll start with Facebook's terms of use. One profile per card in life form. That means if you as a person have two different email accounts and you're logging into two places, oh, this is for my friend's account, this is my me account, you're breaking their terms of use. Also, if you're using a personal account to represent your business, you're breaking their terms of use. Now, with a community of 900 million people, the Facebook police aren't very good at it. You can tell. People are doing all kinds of stuff like this, getting up to 5,000 friends and doing all that work. You know what happens when you get to 5,000? Because I know. You can't do anything else. You can't like anything. You can't make friends with anybody else. You can't create any content. They lock you up. You have to start deleting enough people until you can get to the point. And they make it hard to sort your database. It wasn't like the early days where you just hit click all and spam folks. This is about genuine relationship building, and they're very serious about it, and they're taking great measures to make sure that we don't abuse the platform. Which is why traditional push media isn't going to work. It's about conversation building and coming up with genuine things to share about you and your fans. So there's some things, that's bad news. So when you do have a business page, and you do it right, you set it up, you get unlimited fans. And you get access to, I guess this is misleading, if you don't have one, you don't get access to all this other awesome stuff, like e-commerce. Eventually, by building these communities, you're building customers and access to earn. That's really what this is all about. You can sell using apps from eBay or whatever third-party folks are out there, but you can make money with your website. You can also create events. Events are a great way to get people to show up to your stuff. You know, each event becomes almost like a mini Facebook page in time. You can add links and get people who are coming and have a whole conversation. And in fact, that's basically what we had offered to do for the Food and Wine Experience this year, was create those Facebook events and use those as a new way of marketing.
And we started.
I'm sorry.
We started.
Yeah.
Yes. Right?
Baby steps.
There's Facebook offers is coming, and there are also custom applications for all kinds of stuff. Games to business. So they changed up the look, and now you get this big cover image and a profile picture. They're really recommending that, well, they have some rules. You can't put any sales information or deal of the month advertising bling up here. This is really supposed to be more demonstrative of who you are. And that's really reserved for your logo, you know, your corporate brand, stick that in there. But some people have done some creative things, like Corona. And you can find websites that list, the 10 best profile photo, configurations, and people are always trying to work it around and make it work. But that's a nice example there. And then the app bar. You can see they've got their likes, they've got videos and photos, but they're also promoting special events and different promotions. And that's how Facebook has organized it. That's the way we've got to do it. But that's what all that stuff is.
This is the new timeline. You get a big, bright, showy picture that draws people in at the top. Make that something cool, not a sale. You get your brand and your little profile picture, and then you get the app bar, which chooses what you want to show, your likes, your events, your offers that are coming soon, and that sort of thing. So that part you can move around in there. And you get to make your page unique to your business in that way.
Right. MySpace was a big failure. Everybody do whatever they wanted willy-nilly, and it just didn't have that brand to it. So, but we're not selling Facebook; it's there. So we're just learning how to use it. The things you can post are photos, videos, links to other sites, and then you can choose to highlight and pin these posts to give them different degrees of emphasis on your page.
How do you highlight and
We will cover that in a little bit of a working session at the end. I'll show you specifically, and I've got some other pictures too. But in general, all over the Facebook page, there's little buttons and drop-down menus. Don't be afraid to hover over that stuff and see what it does. There are ways to share information. There's a way to turn off that friend from high school that just won't stop posting pictures of his puppy. There are ways to control that stuff. So just look around and find that. You can't break it unless you get to that place where it says, delete my account. Don't do that. Highlighted post. Okay, so when you decide to highlight a post, you can hover over it and they give you a little star. Sometimes it does some really nice stuff to your photos or your movies. Takes up the whole front of the page, more prominence, and it looks better. And they've really designed the new timeline visually to emphasize images and video. Okay, so there are some ways to promote the posts. One is pinning. So in the same place at the top of any Facebook post on your page, you can select the star, a little edit button, and it will let you pin it to the top of your page. And that'll last for about a week. That lets you put special emphasis on a week-long special or something that you don't want to have falling down the timeline. Because
Pinning means it stays right at the top for 1 week. That's as long as you can have it up there. 1 week. You get 1 week to have your pin up there, and it'll go away on its own automatically after the time is expired, or it'll go away when you repin something else. The purpose of the pin is simply, like he said, to keep it at the top so that's the first thing they see without it falling into the rest of your timeline. And using pull marketing, what we want is for things to continuously be rotating through the timeline. This new feature gives you a way to stop that from happening for something that's just so big you got to let everybody know.
like the Big Island Adventure Camp. If you've got kids, send them over there. This just happened this week. This is actual promoted posts from Facebook. If you have 400 fans, then you will start seeing this stuff show up at the bottom of your posts. As soon as somebody shares it, then it gets triggered, and now you can spend some more money to make sure that your post gets seen by more of your viewers.
You just are paying for it if you want.
Prior to this, you could buy ads and promote single posts through the ad bars, and the ads would come up on the side. We've used them both. When I was a musician in Saratoga Springs, New York, I had a $5 budget on every gig, and I would run ads, promoting the venue and what I was doing at those gigs and build up our likes. We've done it on occasion with the Lime paper advertising to promote things we're especially excited about, like our webcam, which isn't working right now. But now they're giving you another way to spend money. So burger of the month, bam. Hit some more people on a Sunday morning. That's basically where they're going with this. So, but you need 400 fans, so let's try to get up to there for those of you that haven't gotten there
That's
yet.
for a page, not for a group.
This is just for a single post.
And a
Yes,
page
for
or
a
group?
page, on a business page as opposed to
You have
an
to have-
individual
you have
or
to
a
have 400.
group or any of the other ones
Right.
like that, yes, it is,
Okay.
it does have to be a page.
A page.
Where you're collecting fans, not friends,
Right.
and not members of the group.
Right.
I really haven't looked at groups to be monetized in any way. I would assume that sometimes they do fundraising, but I haven't seen groups be business oriented. Well, I'd have to check. Your group is obviously more than 400. Just take a look on your wall later and see if they give you an option.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just activated this week, and you can do this they can be up to 3 days old. After 3 days, you can't promote your posts anymore. You gotta create new content, new fresh content. Hopefully keyword rich, again, like mentioning before. For more SEO, if you want to ask more questions about search engines, keywords, and how to maximize that in your content, we'll cover it again. Okay, Facebook offers is coming very soon. It's out in beta. We have a couple of local restaurants using it. If you have a business page, there'll be a new button that says create an offer, and they'll allow you to run through their drop-down menu and check boxes. Buy one, get one free, 10% off, this and that. I've redeemed them. It's very simple. It goes to your email on record through your Facebook account. Sends you a little email that you can either show them on the face of your smartphone or print out and hand to them. And that is getting people into the doors, and you can see them basically following the trend on sites like Foursquare and Yelp. We'll get to them too. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about YouTube later, but Facebook designed this new look to be image and video driven. Of the web right now, 80% of it is video, and of that video content, 80% of that is controlled by YouTube. And YouTube and Google are in cahoots. We'll talk about that. The databases are slightly different. They're looking for slightly different material, but they're still massive, and there's still huge audiences. So by creating short videos that have the potential to be viral, even if it's showing a bartender making a new cocktail, or the chef making some flambe, or the morning surf, little video clips, when you post them to YouTube with the proper title, it says who you are, where you're from, great descriptions, and share those on Facebook, because all that sharing is built right into YouTube. You're probably doing more for yourself in just engaging in YouTube than you are in all this other stuff combined. Video. But we'll talk more about that. We got some more time. Okay, so actually changed that to 11. But basically, here's I'm gonna email this to everybody. But basically, here's how it goes. Post regularly on Facebook, at least something once a day. If you really can't manage that, schedule them out in advance, once or twice a week. Get a weekly thing that happens. Get it out. You've got to create new content. You can't let the page die. Be succinct, be brief. This isn't Twitter 140. You can go a little longer, but try to include photos and videos. They've just got proof that images get clicked on first, then videos, then links. So make it image driven.
And then just whatever you said. And then just one of those that just has a quote or something. That's way down there.
They've showed that the optimal time to post it, I'm the one who went to the...
I don't think so.
No, the optimal time is actually between 9 and 10 p.m. That was from Facebook themselves.
Did you say 9 and 10 p.m.?
Between 9 and 10 p.m. That's when your posts are most likely to be seen just
By the most
generally.
is in general.
But that doesn't mean a post that the band's going on soon.
Yeah, same person on the train, that's when everyone's like bored,
And that's what I'm
already
saying,
back from
right?
lunch.
Well,
Right?
yeah,
That's what
maybe,
Facebook says.
what is
Maybe,
what is
yeah.
the best time?
It could be.
What is the best time here then?
I couldn't
These
tell
are just
you.
nationwide stats. The gentleman was from Facebook, who's a marketing guy, and that's just, I'll leave go into those numbers. But
Do you
overall,
send out email blasts
I don't
Cause you
know
can see what time people read them, I mean, you can see what time they're open and actually find out from your own,
A general
your
idea.
own fans, what's working for them.
I wasn't aware that you could.
He can probably tell you how.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Well, I can definitely help, but here's the thing, this is just in general, so that you
Right.
know the etiquette, so to speak, here's some guidelines to stay active. But bottom line, again, we're serving our community, we're trying to grow our community, we're trying to get a dialogue and a conversation going. So that's driven by, what pulls at their heartstrings, and that's really image driven. Respond to everything.
Really.
Tell them good and bad, respond to people.
By that, once somebody like you are a respond to it.
Not like-
Respond to a like, but
But
if somebody
anytime
says,
a question, or anytime there's a question or a comment, you post a picture and somebody says, where is this, or what is that,
Well, yeah, of
or
course,
anything
yeah.
like that.
Okay, that
Or,
makes sense.
actually, I disagree with you, I hate what you just posted,
Right.
then respond to that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you have an opinion about it, you will find a way to do it, but you don't wanna ignore the bad. It's respond to everything
not,
that
yeah.
is either asking a question or deserves, needs a response. Don't be afraid.
They took the
Good
time.
and bad.
Keeping the conversation going and keeping
It
them
does,
actively
because then
involved.
that just gets other people engaged. And
Other
what
people
is
don't want. Oh,
and
that
what
makes
is the
sense.
point of full marketing? Getting people engaged, and that's another way to do it.
Think of yourself as the old community butcher. They walked into the shop, they knew who you were. Maybe they weren't at your house all the time, but they knew you. These people care about what you care about, so engage with them cordially and professionally. Good and bad. Don't have to hide, but usually it can get a little rough out there. And you can ban people. There's no abuse that needs to be taken. So questions, asking questions, drawing people in, using the little poll button, those are great ways to build interaction. Advice on what the next burger should be, or what should be our shot of the month. Little things like that. What next flavor would you like in the gelato? Ask.
What beers have you
Again, post photos, videos, links, and specials, especially if they're deals or giveaways, and that's coming soon. But remember to post things that serve your audience. Another thing they can do is give fans exclusive access to content. This webinar, for example. Say, like this, or create a landing page that takes them to your website where they can fill out a little form and sign up for a coupon or an event. Something that really only your fans have access to. Use the page post ads, so that's paid ads. Paid advertising on Facebook does work. So you can just hit the ad manager button and it walks through your credit card. It's very simply laid out and you can pick your budget.
But before you do that, check out how pinning posts to the top and promoting things yourself works for you. See if there's a formula you can come up with yourself that might work for you.
Because it's free.
Because it's free first. And then if not, it does work. So,
Right. I mean, measuring ROI is another class.
yes.
Return
But-
on investment. What's our
Return on investment.
Okay.
That means that when I walk in one day with my phone
Oh.
and I walk into to the drugstore and it says, oh, my buddy Jimmy, he loves Pringles. And then Pringles knows I'm in the store because I checked in. I say, hey, buy Pringles now for $1 off. I go buy the Pringles. That's return on investment on social media engagement. And that is the kind of technology that's coming down the pike.
Yeah.
We just simply, even if you want to just think of it as getting the yellow pages part of this thing done, just getting to all these sites and just getting your phone number up there and the description and your picture and your logo. I mean, if that's all you've got time for, great, but you have to at least get there. Get out there and interact. Like things you like. There's ways of adding other people's pages to your page to like them and save them as your favorites. Anybody you do business with or anybody who's a colleague, go out
Add
and
them to
share.
your page.
Connect with them. It's building your inbound links and all that stuff is pointing to you as being relevant. And the thought leader.
When you tag them, do other people see?
Generally, unless you're controlling that in your privacy settings, yeah, your friends get to see what you see.
And when you tag, say, as in you're writing on the Eat It Cane Bay page, Is that what you're saying?
And I'm talking about a
And
dentist,
say-
or I'm
say
talking
you
about
want-
the sorbet that I ate at Jakarta,
Right,
something
and
like
you
that.
highlight that and make it blue, and it says that. Well, then it posts to all their page, so
Yeah.
their fans would see it in their rotation on their news feed in the when it shows up like that. Yes, because you tagging them in your post makes your post show up on their wall. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So yeah, it just goes into the feed. So again, that's one more. It's a double layer. It's like on your page, and then Jakar's also on their page. So it's like you're serving each other essentially.
Right, and then there's another trick, maybe some of you have seen it, but if you use the @ symbol when you're typing a post, if you're on a personal page, it'll start highlighting your friends with the name, you just start typing their name, or if you're on a business page, it'll start filling in the blanks on other businesses, so @ symbol and P. If you use those little hot links to tag other people in your post, you also show up in their, this person mentioned you in a post, so that's really
And you can do
reaching
that
out
not only in
and
your posts,
leveraging-
but in your comments too.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that every time you're typing or you should be doing that. You should be using that @ symbol for highlighting any other business you work with or any of your friends that you want.
Maybe
that
not
are
your
helping.
friends, maybe some of your friends don't like
Right,
that, but if it's
businesses.
business, tag. They should be in that post, tag,
It's
make
all
it
about
live.
sharing.
Okay, and so again, share the things you love, and then finally, on your business pages, there's a button for insights. You can look at the little charts and graphs. You just, even if it's just fun to see if it's growing or not, or where people come from, check it out every now and then. Later on, if you get more serious about the marketing, it'll mean more to you when you talk to that next, level of help. Okay, Twitter is microblogging. It is not as popular as Facebook, but it's also very large. People are using it in business to very good success. Microblogging is basically the same as blogging or Facebook. It's just 140 characters. Twitter is one microblogging site. There are others. You can follow people. You can also search for subject matter using hashtags, those number signs. So if you're interested in Corona beer, you can just type and search for hashtag Corona beer and watch all day long as comments come in real time around the world about your subject. This is driving news cycles. This is driving populist movements, political movements around the world. This is real-time communications. And it's basically not as fun, to be honest, Facebook, so people aren't necessarily there as much. But what's important about it is search. If I'm a Twitter user, I can pick what I want to see. And I have different ways of searches and the people and the things that I care about always coming in to my device in real time about what I care about. There are ways that said search social media optimization. There are ways to link your blog to Facebook. So when you post on your blog, it automatically hits your Facebook post. You don't have to go 2 places. There's also a way to link your Facebook page to your Twitter account. You don't have to go all 3 places. You can really start at your blog and it will hit all the other social media, and you can choose to respond on whichever platform people come back to you at. I can tell you how to do that easily, or you can Google it. It's not. Okay, right? This is more Twitter stuff. Twitter by itself isn't very robust, but people have created these free softwares out here, like TweetDeck and Seismic and Hootsuite. All they are is applications that let you set up these different searches I showed you. So I've got my Twitter feed set up here, and I've got a search for St. Croix sunsets here, and I've got a post for St. Croix line. Watching the Twitter to see whenever I get mentioned. They all work essentially the same way. Some allow you to manage more than one social media account. So from TweetDeck, I can control my Facebook account, I can control all of my different Twitter accounts. That's something different about Twitter, whereas Facebook, you only get one personal account and you create business accounts based on that one profile. With Twitter, you can set up as many different accounts with different emails associated with it as you like. But these softwares like pulling even your Foursquare accounts, your other social media accounts, you can see where people are connecting with you, you can choose how you want to respond to them in one place.
Do you think that TweetDeck or Seismic or Hootsuite is more user-friendly than Twitter? Because I just it's hard
Twitter,
to engage.
Twitter only puts you in one spot. The purpose of platforms like this or applications like this is that you can put on your account for your Twitter, your Facebook account, you can link
I
your
get that, but
Foursquare,
I
and then all you do is post on one and it goes all those places.
get that, and I
So-
get the user friendly. And I've Hootsuite'd before, and Hootsuite I know visually is more,
Things going on.
well, no, it's actually easier to read than Twitter. Twitter doesn't seem to me to have, to be user friendly.
When I'm
Twitter's
dealing with
not
Twitter
for just
for
being on
work,
Twitter.
I use TweetDeck.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Seismic and Hootsuite offer some different things. Some of it's about scheduling posts into the future, or managing multiple pages and scheduling, being a social media manager, which is a new career
yeah.
that's coming, helping people to do this, because it takes some time.
I think I can answer your question. I don't ever go on Twitter website, ever.
Mhm.
Or usually over the application. I have everything linked, though it's very rare for me to post something on Twitter using
Twitter.
Because we got a
Does
link
that
to our
make
Facebook
sense?
page.
Because
So it
it's
hits
linked so
Twitter.
many other
Yeah.
places. I don't need to be on Twitter to use it. So no, I wouldn't use Twitter. I hardly ever go to the
How do
Twitter
you find
website.
your new followings and whatever?
One of
all
my
that kind of
columns
stuff?
is replies to my messages. One of my columns is people have mentioned me. So because everything we put on Facebook hits Twitter automatically, when I'm watching the TweetDeck, I can see the responses that come in from Twitter, and I can retweet, which is how you share in Twitter, or I can respond to people, or I can subscribe to them. So it's a way to monitor what's going out, because we really have automated it. We don't like going to Twitter, we don't go to Twitter. We seldom post to Twitter
See what other
directly.
people, if you don't like it, do other people go.
But you know what though, Twitter
It's
is
valuable.
unique in
I-
the sense that like, I can follow Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian doesn't care about me, but I can watch everything that she does if she wants
For
to be
your
out there.
personal
Like,
entertainment, yep.
I can't do that with Tim Duncan on Facebook because unless he friends me and I can't see what he's doing. So I understand like the valuable aspect of that. I can reach out to anyone, any foodie, any wine person, any
Subject.
megastar, any subject that I want to, but I'm wondering on Hootsuite, which I use Hootsuite, or I used it until I got disengaged with Twitter. How do you find new people? How do you continue watching threads on Twitter through that? It just doesn't, it seems really muddy.
This is a high level course, but there are a number of case studies of how businesses like you have used Twitter to success. I would recommend going and finding some examples of how they've used it. Personally, I listen to it to see if anything gets said that I should be aware of, but it's not where our focus lies at this
And you
point.
just put in hashtags and see if
Yeah,
you're
hashtag.
reading it more than posting on it.
I'm reading mostly and I'm sharing some stuff that I think is cool.
And that's how
Basically
you-
keeping it alive, because I haven't quite figured out how to
Right.
make the most of it yet.
For
But
what
some
we're
people
for
have.
what we're
That gives me
doing.
Right.
For what we're doing.
It-
But the value is still there, and it's also more in real time, I'd say, than Facebook feeds.
Absolutely.
As far as that goes. But as far as like finding the niche and way you want to use it for your business, keeping it alive and using it in modicum is probably better than not using it at all. I totally get that. But you're right. It's more about you find those hashtags by following those lists, and suddenly you see something that you're like, oh, STSFWE stands for the St. Croix Food and Wine Experience. Now I know that. And then that goes in your list of like recently used hashtags, and you start finding stuff like that and things that other people are using that you start to follow. So again, it's just exponential, just like Facebook is. You start following this person, then something gets suggested to you that that person likes as well. So it's just, that's how you find your hashtags. That's how you find more people follow, is you're following those people and monitoring them in a column of your choosing that's directly aimed at what it is you're trying to do. It's kind of a personal thing. I think you have to figure out what it is you want to use it for. So, that,
Does using that, if you're sending people, like if you put links regularly to go back to your site, is that increasing your web ranking with Google?
Well, if you use the full HTTP ://www full address and put it in there and don't use a shortener, then yes, technically it's going to count toward your inbound linking. It is new media. Each tweet is real data, individuals sitting on its own slot in an RSS feed somewhere. So, but you got to use the large ones, not the truncated.
You can't shorten them. You can't let them
Yeah, the
automatically
AV
shorten
things
them.
don't work.
Yeah.
Right, and
Exactly.
what we're talking about is since Twitter's only 140 characters, some people use it to build that inbound linking. Now, the algorithms are smart, so they're still looking for relevance. So you can't just trick the system. But sometimes your URL is long, your web address, and so there are URL shorteners that just forward it to the same place so you can put more information in that tweet. So that's some of these weird little short URLs you're seeing. I still don't recommend clicking on anything like that in your inbox, in your email. Don't. But online, in Twitter, it's usually pretty safe. They've got filters and they're looking out for you too. Okay, so again, this is high level, but this is, again, something you can go find videos. Welcome to Twitter. And at the very least, you can just go put up your picture, and who you are, and your phone number, and be done with it.
Hope somebody got that idea.
We might find you want to do that later.
Okay, what we're really excited about is mobile, and check-in and reviews. I mean, this is that whole stuff coming in. People liking you, people commenting on the things that you post, people writing things about your business, good and bad, thumbs up, thumbs down. And this is happening whether you notice it or not, every day on Facebook, Foursquare, Yelp, and the reviews of these. You can't check in using TripAdvisor, but TripAdvisor's out there, especially here. They've got more reviews than any of the big companies, Foursquare and Yelp. Foursquare and Yelp are not as, they haven't penetrated our culture as much yet. They're huge in the States and in the big municipalities. But here at TripAdvisor for reviews is king. For people who are still using Foursquare, Yelp, and Facebook to check into the places they go. They're using these to find out where they are. They're checking in, they're taking pictures, they're saying they're with their friends, they're saying they like the food, they don't like the food, thumbs up, thumbs down, and it's being tracked. Each one of these, so, and I don't know if I need to push it any more than that. I mean, does anybody not believe that the mobile device is going to guide our future tourists to
Considering
where
what
they're
we
going
started
to go?
with and what we have now, you'd have to be silly not to believe it.
Okay, great.
I started with a bag full that weighed about 40 pounds.
I hope this didn't have to be like a proselytizing session. It's like we're all drinking the Kool-Aid. Each one of these, Foursquare, Yelp, and Facebook, and even Google Places, if you have a main Google account, you can go and claim your business. Say, yes, this is me. Go find yourself. You're up there, likely, if you have a brick and mortar location, and claim your business. Read there, welcome to our company. They've got all kinds of tools and resources for you for free. They've got colleges where you can study them. They've got marketing materials you can download and create, those QR codes. Get people to check into your businesses, offer them incentives to show up, deals, specials, etc., and it can all be tracked. So again, you can measure the return on your investment that you're putting into that. Pardon?
You said that's on Google?
Google, yes, Google Places. Google Places, it's connected to Google Maps. Now they're not doing check-ins, but they are doing reviews. You know, Google is just trying to keep one foot in the fire and not lose this thing completely. And finally, don't hide the bad reviews. Don't stand for abuse, foul language, abuse, let it go. Don't feel bad about that. But if somebody has a legitimate gripe, engage them, ask them why. If you can make good with that customer and people can see it in the public record, that'll do more for your reputation than just deleting it and then always have to, oh, these people keep deleting me, and nobody wants to see that. So own up to it, be honest, serve your community. Okay, Foursquare, it's an app, it's a mobile app, people are playing the game, you check in, you get points for checking in, you race your friends, you get more points. They offer badges for getting on boats, for going to parties, or going to a lot of places in one night, or eating sushi. The person who is the most frequent visitor at your establishment gets to be the mayor. And in a lot of places, mayors get special deals. Mayors
For
get
instance,
perks.
right here on this island, taking advantage of this right now is Club 54. The first time you check in a certain amount of times in the week, you get a free beer or something like that. All you gotta do is go hold up your device and there you go, free beer, because you checked in right there. Other places, Salute, I believe, is offering a free mojito on your very first check-in or your 5th check-in or something like that. So why is this going on? It's just a game, it's just an app. What is that all about? Well, that's why. Because everybody wants to be the mayor of something. Do you not? Come on, admit you do. And that's why it's fun. And that's why you can use it for your business to draw people in. You get people vying for each other. They're doing it in the big cities. I think of the example of Starbucks. Whoever that day's Starbucks mayor was got a free latte. Do you know what I would do for a Starbucks free latte every single day? I would go there every single day and want to be the mayor. So
It's
We have a lot of
very-
fun in Omaha after with it.
it's great for people that have an on-location business to offer specials and things like that. If not, that is also a great place. It's just location-based, mobile check-in game for fun. But it's bringing people in. You got to be able to be found on these places, and that's the point.
They will take advantage of your specials.
Yes, oh yes.
I'll like you for a free shot every time. But I mean, you can only like somebody once. I mean,
But
that's
get in
the way
there
it
and
is.
learn about it. It's definitely, it's not going away.
But
One
it's a
more
great
thing
way-
in the social media is getting people to come to your business.
Yes.
And
That's what
they
we
have
want.
great business services.
In the door.
And I might be the mayor of the community foundation.
All right. The specials, it's important to engage, claim your business, read the business services section, figure out how to create specials for your business when people check in. Even if it's something small, figure it out, it's fun. Check,
It's fun.
business services.
It's fun.
Yelp. Okay, Yelp is simply the largest review site in the world right now. I won't spend too much time because it's basically the same thing. They offer a Duke if you want to be the Duke, but they also have business services. And separate from Foursquare, Foursquare is a game. This is the largest database of reviews in the world right now. A lot of people are putting their weight behind this, and that's why we've identified it. You're here, go ahead and claim your business, and all the same things I just said about Foursquare apply.
So it took it further than what Business Advisor.
This was there before.
I think they were
Oh.
first, and companies like
Really?
Foursquare said, hey, how do we take advantage of all this data?
Oh, TripAdvisor, maybe.
Yeah, TripAdvisor. I've never heard of Yelp.
TripAdvisor, the big main difference I think we can identify is the difference between TripAdvisor and Yelp is that TripAdvisor is geared towards hotels and things that you are
Food.
traveling to do,
Food and hotel.
food and restaurant or in the hotels.
There's no check-ins.
We're kind
And
of
there's no check-in on TripAdvisor, it's
We're kind
strictly
of one
review.
move from the retail scene, though, because we're importers, distributors.
Well, this is the place for you then, because Yelp includes the guy who changes your oil and all
Or
that kind
maybe
of
there's
stuff.
some other things, just brand focused.
Toy
that we
stores.
can talk about. You don't fit the traditional model again. That Yellow Pages concept.
Well, yeah, no, I understand all that, I'm just, because they can't show up at my place, because I,
They can't check in at our place, but they can check in at places that
You
carry our
distribute to.
cards.
yeah, no, I can see that possibly we could do a
You
link
could
with that,
partner, you
and
could
if they check
allow
in at
a
Catherine's,
store
we
to
could
give away a special that
give
you
something in
reimburse.
Because
consideration
it's
for
yours
that.
and they sell it
Right,
better.
but they have all
Maybe
kinds of
help drive
suggestions like
people
that.
in that direction.
And it just takes a little digging
Best
in,
for
yeah.
us, yeah.
For you and what you're
Okay,
doing.
and here we are, TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor, I think you can offer specials. I'm pretty sure you can. Again, it's mostly review oriented. They've got lots of graphs, and here it's really active, so it's fun to go there. Lots and lots of reviews. The other
Yeah.
sites are still taking up. Good and bad. I mean, there's
Oh
some
yeah,
phases.
some of them get pretty abusive, I read, boy.
Well, and the great thing there too is you can, log in with your Facebook identity. You'll notice this a lot more these days is the opportunity to log in with Facebook.
Facebook's is doing it too, and that's what the whole offers thing is about. But the check-in is built right into your phone app. You can tag your friends that are with you, you can upload your photos. So Facebook wants it too. So they're all competing. And again, we whittled it down to this group. Those 7 icons we saw in here. That's what we need to focus on. Okay. And here's Google. Google Places exists. They're the big boys, so just go and claim your business. Take care of that. Make sure your map location is correct and your phone number is up to date. I recommend, if possible, having a Google account for your business. You connect all your business applications, whether it's Google Docs or Google Plus or a YouTube account or or analytics or AdWords, any of that stuff, all your business and Google stuff connected to a Google place for that business, if possible, if you do it right from the beginning.
That was a mistake I made.
Me too.
I
I've got
forgot
2
the
Google
dot
accounts.
Gmail.
Oh.
Been doing this too long.
What do you
Alright.
have? What is it? You already have 2 Google accounts?
I have a lone wolf YouTube account that isn't tied in.
Doesn't have the same email address as everybody else because you.
I didn't quite have a grasp of how to think about identity on the web. So but this is a learning process and trying to help you guys get it done.
Plus, it's always
first time.
gonna change. This isn't static. It's not gonna.
So you can't delete that account and pick up a new one?
I may be able to merge them, but that's going to take
No, we
some
can't.
time,
They already tried
and
that.
that's low on my list of
Oh,
to-dos.
okay.
So
I'm
we
sure
got
I
things
can
to
probably
pull, yeah.
fix it.
Well, you grimace so when you said that, it's just,
You know, it's my least favorite thing to do. Talk to the credit card company, deal with Facebook or YouTube or Google about, I mean, massive numbers of people. So getting in touch with a human being is difficult. So you usually try to fix it on your own, and it takes some time. Trust me, it's mostly all written down there. You can find it if you take the time. And this is finally, I want to talk about YouTube again. We touched on it a little bit. That's the
Is that his holy
spaghetti
noodle?
monster.
Is that his holy noodle there?
That's the flying.
Oh.
How did I go? Amen.
Alright. YouTube is also a new medium. But this combines a couple of things. You get all the benefits of having a title and a description and the ability to add a live track back to your website and to add tags to appropriate stuff and to share on your Facebook page and like and build a community on YouTube. It's also got a search engine that is a little different than Google. So if you have not been able to compete for St. Croix restaurants or St. Croix liquor or St. Croix hotel on Google, here's your chance to take over the video and be early and quick to the punch. Again, keyword rich stuff. So usually when you start typing in St. Croix at the top, those first few things pop down. Those are the most popular search terms. Write them down. Put in what business you are afterward and see what else spits out. Try to pull some of those. Having St. Croix in front of it is important. So that's different than St. Thomas. But get that group of keywords and key phrases that reflect you and your business and make sure that you've got them on hand. How can I fit these into a Facebook post? How can I fit these into the description of the YouTube video we just put up? How do I get them into the title without looking cheesy and like I'm pushing something? Some of this is really about service, but you know, it's service with the intent that hopefully, you know, it's going to pay off. And so you want to just get everything right. And it really truly is about relevance, but while we're building toward there, just make it relevant. And so I think, oh, you gotta do a plug. See, it didn't even work out right.
Only
Well,
$1.
what we do on our
50
website
times.
is we've been building featured pages for local businesses, brick and mortars and services, where we give you a track back link to all your big social sites. We'll publish your YouTube and put you on our page where you can get one more place where people can like you and leave comments and help grow what you're doing. And that's a one-time thing of $150 to set up for you, and we help you get set up if you don't know how along the way. And that's how to get in touch with us. And we definitely want to answer